we're right about there. So you want to answer Mark? Okay. Let's see. Um, basic thing. Aikido theory. Just extend your arm out. Okay. And you're extending past like the thing is the hose and there's water going through it. So if I try to bend it, then instead of trying to tighten it, you just put more water through the hose, right? That's now right there. Just not an idea. That's the whole thing. Like an idea. There's a hose and there's water going all the way out there. Yeah, that's good. It's solid, but it's not tense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's a pretty major one. Okay. And we were doing a couple of things. I think it was on Sunday that I thought maybe we could we kind of look at a bit. Okay. Now, one of the things we were doing was the real kata, right? Two hands. Okay. In this particular one, we're not, we're maybe triangular feet, but we're not body triangle. Okay. Well, somebody just, go from here. Now, if you push this or something, you can take a step back and you are in a triangle. Okay. In fact, that's what we do with the kemi. We take a step back and roll, right? Okay. But one of the things I thought, now, once you let go for a second, as he's coming towards me, he must extend to get me. Okay. And instead of, we just kind of control the nozzle. We control the nozzle to some degree. We control his strength. Now here, trying to do that, you see that's the hose that water is going through it, but the nozzle here. Yeah. And so we go here, and that's the unbendable arm. Here, because we're controlling the nozzle, aren't we? Okay. So one of the things here, so I'm going to go here, but that's the hose. This is the nozzle. All right. I'm taking a step back. But I'd like you to kind of, it gives you a different sort of template. I'm doing a technique. I'm going to have a plan. In other words, if somebody's coming at me, then if I can control the nozzle, then I'll have to come up with something. We're controlling the nozzle. Okay. He must extend to move at me. Okay. And instead of trying to deal with his mass or where his strength is, he's extending. We deal with the nozzle. Okay. All right. That's kind of basic Aikido energy theory. Okay. So let's pair up. Step back, kata, real kata. All right. That's a tricky one because in a lot of ways you say you're coming with the open. I'm trying to bend your arm. No, we're going to control the nozzle. You see what I mean? If you're coming with a open man here, I'm going to try to lift your arm. No, I'm just going to control the nozzle. You see what I mean? It's yeah. it actually gives you a game plan. Okay. Okay, so keep going. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I think that's real important right here. I'm going to run into a strength, but he must extend in order to reach me. All right. So in other words, he's, I mean, basically, right here, that's your unbendable arm, isn't it? So we're just going to work the nozzle of the hose. All right. I'm going to move or something. We're going to work the nozzle of the hose. Okay. Fine. Yeah. It's just, it gives you a game plan. Other than if you don't have that, you're kind of flying blind. You're just trying to move somebody's arm rather than move their body to their arm. And in Aikido, it's a little different. If you're coming at me, say there's always just a sense right here. So, so come on, it's like I'm controlling the nozzle here. I control your energy. You see, and really controlling the energy is not really. I want to blend with your energy. See what I mean? Instead of fight you, try to control you. And you're learning a little bit when you're receiving that about how your energy operates. Uke learns a lot just by feeling. Okay? All right? Okay? Keep going. Okay. We're going to try one more thing here. Now, a lot of training is kind of like problem solving. Okay? In other words, there's various steps. The problem is the technique. The technique's not a problem, but we're supposed to develop skills, mind, body in the training. It's not just an exercise per se. Because we could just do that. We could run around and do jumping jacks and big exercise. But we're about how the mind and the body operate. Okay? And in Aikido, what you are learning to do is to deal with the attacker's energy. Okay? Because you could be an attacker, but you got no energy, you can't attack anybody. Right? And so, we play acted attacking. We're not really attacking. Okay. But one of the other things that we're kind of here, okay. Now, how do I control the nozzle? Well, one of the things is I put weight in my arms, in my feet. Your weight, you want to focus here, not in your arms or your legs. Okay. Now, I'm working the nozzle, and I have a game plan for myself. Everybody just stand up for a second. See, when I put weight into my arms and legs, it becomes a wrestling match. Right? So a lot of it is just your weight is kind of in what they call the hara area. How much are you wearing? I don't know. I'm not thinking about, I'm going to make that heavier because no. In fact, there's kind of a nice weightless feeling here. I don't want a big belly. But just stand there for a second. We're working backwards problem solving. Okay, instead of trying to work the arm, we're going to work the nozzle. Okay. The other thing is, how do I work the nozzle? Well, for one thing, your weight is here, but it's not weight. You're just sort of conscious that this is where, and so I have arms and legs when they move. But on the other hand, see, I'm not putting weight and force in the arms and legs. There's an easy feeling of weight here. It's very easy. Okay? Easy. Walk from here. Sit from here. Talk from here. A nice, easy place of balance. So one of the things here, You feel the difference? Yeah. See, my weight, I'm putting weight in my limbs. Let me put the weight in my center. How much does my center weigh? It doesn't really weigh anything. Okay, it's a construct. Not really, there's physical mass here, but that's not really what the center is about. Okay, so it comes into this. We can step back. Huh? We're working the nozzle. Okay, so we're just going to do that for another second or two. With the nozzle, as opposed to trying to move his arm. The second one is, how do I do that? Well, you have to take the weight out of your limbs. Your weight is here, and weight is not weight here. There's a light feeling to it. Okay? All right? That's our game plan. Okay? So let's continue just for another second. Let's see if we can place our weight here and take it out of our arms and legs. Okay? All right? Hello, Cliff. Yeah, that's good. See? I mean, you know, how much energy do we put out there and try to make the whole thing? He gets heavy, the whole thing goes kind of bad. Okay, but again, one, we're working the nozzle. We're not trying to work the arm. And two, we're also, our game plan for us is that, you know, our weight is here and there's no weight. That's the whole thing. If I put weight there, the same thing happens if I put weight in arms. Okay, so see how it gets freer, freer, freer. All right. So again, all I'm doing is trying to give you a plan. You can train without a game plan. It's just that, you know, in sports, you don't have a game plan, you're done. Okay, all right? Yeah. And so that becomes an important one. For example, he grabs my wrist. All right, I'm gonna try to move him. One, instead of trying to move him, this is the nozzle. Right? It's the nozzle. Grab. He must extend to attack me. Right? Got it? Okay, good. Okay. I'm putting weight in my arm. Now I'm going to put the weight here. I'm going to work the nozzle. And then you have a game plan. You're not just flying blind trying to do the movement. Does that make sense? No? All right. So this is a different one. Okay, this one. But he comes in here. Okay, now here. You may pull or something like that. Still. I might keep my center, and I'm going to work the nozzle. I'm going to keep my weight here and not put it in my arms and my legs. You see? If he's pushing or something like, yeah, okay, it's not going to get. My feet will keep me afloat here if I don't lose my center. Okay? What I'm trying to do right now is just thinking about the class we did on Sunday. It's kind of an area we should kind of go into a little bit more. You've got a game plan. If you grab with 2 hands, all right? Well, same thing. Okay. 3 hands. Okay, the weight here. So there was the nozzle. In fact, you're giving me two hoses connected to a device or something right there. And I'm not going to try to move the hose. The hose is unbendable. But if I can move the nozzle, I control the stream of water, don't I? Which is your energy, the attacker's intent. Okay, all right. So we're kind of the other. We don't. And then we have a game plan. We're not playing blind, so to speak. See what I mean? I'm going to do the technique until I become enlightened. Oh, okay. Well, you know, I could go for decades just sort of putting my weight here, trying to control weight out there with my weight. And, you know, this might give you a little better game plan for how to do some aikido, right? Right? If he's done with the yoke, yeah, controlling the nozzle. What do I have to do? Well, I have to do. My weight is here, not in my limbs, my arms and legs. It's an easy feeling right here. I don't want you to put any weight physically here, just to kind of say we're going to put a weight This is our center area. When I start to do that, my mind starts to calm down. Okay, all right? Okay. Yeah, I'm just standing for a bit. This area here, in Japanese culture, it's usually called your kata. Kind of where your center is. The center point is about 2 inches below the navel and a couple of inches in. The physical embodiment of that is your hara, okay? Now, how much does that point weigh? It's a point, it doesn't weigh anything. So we could reference the point, but sometimes when I do that, I get too mental, thinking of the point. Just put your weight here, and I'm not talking about make this heavy. That's the other thing. If I make this heavy, it's like putting weight in my arms and legs. Okay? Really good Aikido is done on a whole different realm than just skillful twisting of limbs. Okay? Now, what I thought we'd do, okay? For example here, well, first of all, what I'm going to do here, we're doing this one, step in. And we have this motion. Now, what I'm going to do here, notice how this is the nozzle. I'm going to put the nozzle over here so I can step to the other side. Okay? I can't get over there. Okay, well, now from here, and I start to push. I put my weight here. My weight is in my lower tummy. We got this motion. Okay? All I'm doing is trying to, give you a game plan. We're the 49ers, and we got a game on Sunday. We got no game plan. Guess what? We gonna lose. The other team's planned and everything. We're just going to show up and collect their salary. Okay. We may lose anyway, but right here. Now this man. See, right here, that nozzle is going towards me. So I'm just going to. Now the nozzle is going this way, and I'm going to step in. That makes sense. It should make sense because if you're just following, I'm doing the technique. I'm trying to twist his arms. I'm trying to knock him down. So a couple of things. Keep your weight here. Try not to put your weight in your arms or your legs. When you can do that, you start to work the nozzle of the hose. There's attack. In order to attack him, which I'm not going to, I must extend to reach him. I might be difficult to deal with, but if he is coming in this direction, so if we start to kind of just right here, the nozzle of the hose, come on. Well, that's good Aikido. Other than that, Aikido becomes kind of funny. We kind of wrestle around a lot, learn to perform. But I'm just trying to give you a game plan. And so that should enlighten the actual practice, and it should improve the actual quality of your motion. Okay? So let's continue. We're going to step in kokyuho off of the real kata. Okay? It's a little bit of what we were doing on Sunday. For you to come in, you must extend the attention. Okay. Now, basic Aikido theory, this is the hose, that's the nozzle, but the stream of what's your intent? If the hose is dead because there's no water on there, you're not an attacker. Okay. So it's your intention, it's key. Okay? Now, right here, okay. Now, instead of trying to bend the hose, which is what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look the nozzle. Okay. And the other thing right there is how do we do that? But we take the weight out of our arms in our legs, and we put it here. But I'm telling you guys, not really physical weight. See, if I put my physical weight to the movement, well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my hips. I'm going to turn the nozzle over here so I can step over here. And we got that motion. All I'm doing is giving you a game plan. You can try to do this without a game plan. You might have some success. You see, okay? But we did this stuff a little bit on Sunday, and I thought, actually, there's a lot of good stuff here. Right? Okay. Anyway, keep going. Okay. Yeah, we're kind of doing this off of a step back and stepping in, but I thought we'd do a little bit right here. Just katate, tori. Okay. Now, one of the things here, the whole thing about attacks. I mean, Robert Koga used to come to our dojo, and he would teach police, and I invited him to teach Aikido classes, and he would say most of the assaults, basically, somebody's not, they're going to grab you or shove you with one hand, and they're going to do something. They're going to extend towards you, try to knock you off balance. If you're going to fight Bruce Lee, you're going to lose anyway. Okay? And then the other one is two hands. So we started with two hands. Now, the one hand thing is that, he's going to come in, he's not going to grab the shoulder. Right? All right? Now, he's going to probably go to the center of the body, either with a grab or a push. Right? But we make that harder by standing in a triangle. So you stand this way. Yeah, no, everybody gets caught. So the real kata, we're like this. Okay, well, as soon as possible, we do that motion. Now here, what we're doing is we're rotating the hip, stepping to the other side of the hose, turning the nozzle. Okay, now all we're going to do is do that. Now here, boom, he may come for this, but all of a sudden, boom, I'm going to extend my arm. Let me grab it. Okay, now right from there, put my weight in my, no, we're going to keep our weight here. All right, but the same thing right here. He may be kind of quick and sharp, so we side step, cross step in. You can go this way with it, just simply go this way and in, but you have no maneuverability. Okay, I'm going like this, and then he all of a sudden decides to make a secondary move. Here, if I moving a little bit to the side, cross, and I have some mobility. Go now. I'm moving. I'm not going, okay, I'm going to sit down here. Now, that can work because, boom, you have this. But I always found that maneuverability in a situation, adaptability is important. And, you know, even if he's giving me a very strong amount of, I'm off the path of attack, aren't I? Okay. So it's a little bit like here, we're turning the nozzle so we don't get blasted. I'm on the other side of the hose. Okay, and I'm going to move a little bit to the side. I'm going to take that interim step to move in. Okay, now we've got this. First of all, this is kind of inviting something. Here comes something. Okay, I'm just giving you a game plan. One, try to work the nozzle. Don't try to bend an unbendable hose. Two, how do you work the nozzle? You place your weight here instead of in your limbs. And I'm not talking about physical weight. If you put your physical weight here, it locks up just like your arms. So you get a feeling of being kind of free and easy and balanced. Okay, that's your game plan. All right. So let's change partners, switch to the wrist hold. Okay. Okay. One thing that's happening is, as you're moving in, oh, I think that makes sense. Your weight is coming up. Oh, okay. Keep your weighted in your belly. But he's tall. Okay. And a bad day, you're going to go like this, and he's going to be. Nice and easy. There's no physical weight there. I use human weight. We got to think of something. But you take the weight as much as you can out of your limbs, and you put it here. Now, if you put your physical weight here, it's going to lock up too. So, you know, we're understanding things in terms of intention and in terms of energy. Okay, we have a game plan. We're doing Aikido, we're not doing Jiu-Jitsu. Right? So, you know, one of the things right here. Okay, good. Now, right here. If I start to come up, you start to get heavy. Yeah, so slow it down. You have a game plan. Okay, now the other thing I would do a little bit. This is a nozzle or hose. I'm going to give myself a little space by moving it a bit to the side. See what happens here? Yeah. Oh. If you decide to come to the other hand, I might have a little bit of an entry angle. Yeah. So, cross, 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 cross. Now lower your, put the weight, yeah. And this is good practice for you. Keep the weight here. And I'm talking about is the weight that's no weight. Okay, because when we're up here, things are crazy. Okay. Yeah. That whole recall action, boy, that was nuts. Okay. That's the world up here. Okay. You don't turn away. When you start to turn away, I'm taking my attention off of something that's important. You're important. I'm just getting a different angle, where we can start to, when somebody gives you a little bit more attitude, you keep this. You have a game plan. What is the game plan? It's your mind. Your mind doesn't know what to do. You're going to get confused and emotional, and you're going to be out of it. But it's not mind as in I'm plodding and I'm thinking. It's just a general framework for how to approach a situation. Okay, you got a big meeting with somebody. Okay, you probably should have a game plan. If you go in there without a game plan, you're probably not, the meeting's not going to go well unless, of course, you're both just thinking the same way and everything is not really a meeting, it's just a party, right? That's not bad. Let's just come this way. Something. We go this way. Same motion. Right. Whatever the movement happens to be, here, what do I do? Well, your energy goes with the host. They're trying to move you. Take the weight out of my. But I'm going to keep the weight more down here as opposed to see when it comes out. Yeah. Okay. So, well, actually, yeah, reverse. Yeah. Keep your weight in that lower tummy area. Good, good, good. And when you're moving, keep your weight there. You're gonna all of a sudden your balance and your motion will improve tremendously. Okay, keep going. And you'll see it's going to take some focus. After a while, it becomes very natural. Okay. See right there? Take the weight out of your arm, put it there. Oh, what happened? Huh? Okay. So you want it true and easy. Now that we're anticipating difficult. No, that's why we anticipate flow. That's what we want to create with people in situations. We want it to flow. We want it to go in a positive direction. Not everything, that whole recall, everything like that country is such a weird place, Oh, CNN wrote an article today about if Trump wins, it's going to be even much worse. Because he's much more deranged. I mean, literally. I mean, and when we start to think that way, it's like we just go, oh my God, it's hopeless. Game plan. You can always move. Like my sister said, Japan to take you back. I said, yeah, if Trump's president, I always think about that. I said, if he wins the election, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but yeah. It is yeah. Yeah, no, he's got a big enough boss. He can be pretty obnoxious. Even the people that don't really support him, 80% of Republicans think the whole thing is fixed anyway. That's not good. I mean, it says something about the intelligence of people. He can't make people stupid. He gives stupid people a platform, but he can't make people stupid. But, okay. Okay. Just standing for a second. This is where you are. Now, when I say take the weight out of your shoulders and arms and legs, I don't mean becoming a wet noodle. A good body presence. I started how to row, I was reading his autobiography. And, they're trying to teach him how to hit, right? He's studying Aikido. And he, what he realizes is very interesting. He says that, when he puts his center up here, he's too emotional. Too emotional. You want passion. If you have passion for what you do, you're blessed. As opposed to, God, it's another day and a horrible job, horrible life. But you don't want to be emotional. I don't know if joy, happiness, or emotion. Because emotions are generally negative. Okay, so he said, when he put his center here, he realized, up here, the higher the center, the more emotional he got. Okay, you can't be, if you're an athlete and somebody's, you got 2 strikes on you, you can't be emotional. I'm screwed. Yeah, you are screwed. You gave the bat away. Especially with 2 strikes, you got to be pretty cool. So, I thought that was kind of interesting that Mr. O said, my center's too high. I'm emotional. So, and yeah, there are emotions, but being emotional is different. We all have emotions, but some of them are good. But when somebody says we're emotional, that's not good. You want to be a little easier, a little bit more joyful, a little bit more in the flow of things. So kind of your weight here doesn't mean you're a limp noodle. And when my weight's there, my breathing is much more rhythmic. My mind, when I'm emotional, the center's too high, this is too busy. And then, of course, I jump out there and put the weight in my arms toward do a move as opposed to just working the nozzle. And to work the nozzle, I have to have my weight here. And it's not really weight. Okay. Okay. So, I'm extending here. The victim, the proactive. Okay. Triangle. We get caught up trying to do too much with our limbs. And the mind's way too active. And so we never really oftentimes touch some of the finer dimensions of Aikido. And in missing that, we miss the finer dimensions of ourselves. Okay? So, this is a good one right here. Okay. I'm off the line here. This is his nozzle. Okay. I don't want to be blind. Okay. Now I'm controlling the nozzle and I'm returning it to him. Quick motion. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So here we could shift. So real kata. Okay? You know, remember here there's a tendency to try to twist the wrist, rotate your hip. We did nikyo last night. What we're going to do? You notice how all the weight's in my shoulders. What if I put the weight where it's supposed to be? All I'm doing, what is a game plan? It's mine. We all have them, except we oftentimes don't behave as if we have them. It's a situation, you're clear, get into more of a zen place, and the game plan reveals itself to you. You don't want to be a plotter. You're trying to control everything out there. Yeah. Situations out there require attention. If there's our positive key from us to, but I keep my balance here. All right, so from here, and also distract here. Okay, now still looking at me. Yeah, big and heavy. All right. Rotate the hip before you turn the wrist. Well, I'm just going to get off the line. All I'm doing, I'm not putting pressure here. All I'm doing is gathering. See, this is an apple. Yeah, I'm going to try to deal with the power in his body. It's bigger. Okay, I'm at a decided disadvantage. So here, the weight is here. What happens all of a sudden? It distributes. Right. Okay. Right. Right. So just going to do real kata or the nikyo. Take it easy on the first couple, and your partner's wrist up. Okay. Well, let's change partners. Now you're starting to put the weight in your chest. Oh. See the weight in my shoulders and chest. That's see the problem with this. Okay, is a lot of times we're learning, we're putting a lot of effort out and trying to do something, but we don't have a game plan. I mean, the ability to kind of do nikyo is just, on the other hand, things that cause me to tighten. I'm going to stay a little bit. We're slow in my life. Things work the way they're supposed to within a certain parameters. There are things that are out of my control, but they don't have to screw me up, make me uptight. You see what I mean? So then, the training starts to give you tools. It's not just, I know, in daily life, it's important too. We can come from a more centered place. Instead of trying to tackle issues in a bad way, like trying to bend the unbendable arm, we work the nozzle. And there's certain shifts I need to make in my own system to be able to work the nozzle. So we have what is the game plan? Game plan is mind. If you don't have a game plan, your mind's not working. It's important to have the right game plan. Okay. I'm going to play the Clippers. I don't want a game plan for the 76ers. Yeah, so some of that makes sense, right? So it's specific. Some like you say, oh yeah, it's specific, but your tools are pretty much the same. Yeah. Okay, keep going. Yeah, good. How do you control the nozzle? You control the nozzle by putting your weight here, which means that your mind is calming down. You can't just, it can't just be a thought. And when I do that, my mind is less active and less crazy. Okay, right? Here we go here. Okay, now we go this way. My weight to my shoulders, chest, and everything, and put it back to where it needs to be. Then you have a game plan. And your mind, basically what happens is your key flows according to how good your game plan is. You see what I mean? Yes. Well, I mean, we all, that's the sad and happy truth of it. Right, especially coming here. Okay. Okay. Hello, how are you? How are you? I can be very gentle with us, and it's actually pretty forceful. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's do. Now, as he's coming in, let's start with a little bit more motion. Okay. But again, I'm receiving the attack. I'm kind of tense. I'm receiving it in my upper body. My mind's going too crazy. Okay. So again, what Mr. O said, keep your center here. If it's too high, you get too emotional. How easy would it be if we just took a lot of trying to deal with that as opposed to just dealing with things? So we have a game plan. You see, we have a game plan. Okay, I'm going to deal with situations where I can make a difference as opposed to attacking all the stupidity in the system that doesn't want to change anyway. You know, and I'm part of the stupidity because I'm up here and out there. So I got to remove myself from that, and I've got to find my own balance. And you know, in that way, all right, he's coming in this way. Now I'm dealing with motion coming at me, same attack. Okay. If I feel like he's, I'm going to distract a little bit, like I'm still going to be working that motion. Okay. Do a striking motion. Rest, it's kind of a pain. If somebody's really on you like this, okay, don't make me sorry about that. You face a little closer than I thought. Just wake them up. Wake them up, okay? Well, sorry. All right, go here. Okay. So let's change partners. We'll work the UK coming at you with a little bit more speed. Okay? So different partner. The one thing that's important right there, you're both receiving the attack. See, part of what we're polishing, right, is really, I think it is more. I'm receiving the attack. You're easy. I'm stuck in Korea and I'm letting the defender bother me. He doesn't do that. Okay. Doesn't do that. It keeps you centered, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So a little bit more. Better, 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 better. And you'll find that nikyo is better if you get the first part right. Okay, good. And now, if you're running something right there, that means you're a little too high, so you just make sure that your weight is here. Yeah, after a while, you have a game plan. If you miss on the first one, he's big, he's sure. You're going to miss sometimes. I'm going to miss. Okay, I'm going to relocate my center. Okay. I got a game plan. Keep your center. Train to keep your center in motion. Train in a variety of different situations to keep that center. All right, then you'll find that we segue into the actual movement, the nikyo. You really got the center. You don't have to go out there and look for it. So the more you do the thing, the more the whole thing is just one move. You know? Yeah, you're going to move. Your feet are going. You're not going to put your weight in your feet or your arms, but your arms and your feet are going to help you with the movement. That's all part of the game plan. You start to see things much more directly. You say, if I'm here, I'm out here. That's already part of the nikyo. Yeah, I get to here. Okay, does that make sense? It has to make sense before you start to practice it. If it doesn't make sense, don't do something. Yes, sometimes we do stuff, it does make sense, it's just fun. All right. But then again, it makes sense to do things that are fun because it lifts our spirit. Right? Unfortunately, we find out everything is fun and that everything stays fun. Okay, so we have to take a little responsibility for creating our own thing. Right? And we're kind of, we have a good game plan and things are flowing and you feel yourself improving, and that's a pretty good place. Okay? All right. Okay, now hold there for a bit. Why? Because they're connected. And this way, I'm going to do this way. Likewise, right here. And here, I'm going to be here. All right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I can't do this. My knees are side, but why? Because my weight is in my shoulders and my arms. Keep your weight here. Okay? Yeah. That's hard. Our attention tends to wander. We get so after a while, but guess what? You know, I'm your coach, and I'm going to stick to the game plan. Okay? All right. Okay. Yeah, that's better. You see what I mean? Yeah. Now, again, you basically, instead of getting up here and out there where all your weight is up here, you're starting to calm down where your power is. Your power is not the ability to make somebody fall or for service. Your power is the ability to stand in your own calmness, all right, where things flow for you, right? You see that, and you know, I mean, it's good to show how the world was. You could only hit one home run per at bat. You're going to hit 2 home runs in this at bat. No, you can't. We all have our limitations, but hey, just hitting a home run is a pretty big deal. Giants surprised me this year. They hit home runs. They don't have one guy like they had Bonds, who's hitting an incredible amount. But they got a bunch of guys that are, you know, hitting home runs, and a couple of guys are 20. It's better that way. That way you can't plan for one super guy. Okay? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're going to we are going to, what I'm trying to do is just give you kind of a game plan. Okay? Story that I actually found intriguing, because I'm not really a fan of his, but the head coach of the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, he could be irritating and everything, but he's very good at what he does. But he had a really disastrous stint as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Really bad. And then all of a sudden he becomes the head coach of the New England Patriots. They're not very good. And what I find interesting about this one article is what he would do before every game. He would itemize 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many. He says, if we can accomplish all of those things, we'll win the game. Then what the players actually realized is that, yeah, when they did that and followed the game plan, we're going to rush for over 100 yards. We're going to keep our turnovers down. I mean, it's not anything, we're going to limit the other team, their strength. We're going to try to keep them here. And, it was not rocket science stuff. But the players began to realize that when they did what the coach said, were able to accomplish the game plan, they won. So guess what? They started to pay attention to them, right? And so a little bit of what we're doing here, what is the game plan? The game plan is your mind. Your mind is not a lot of crazy thoughts. Your mind's of your ability to set the situation in order and to give yourself a chance to do your best in that situation. That's what mind is. And when your mind is in order, your body starts to perform. All right? You can have a lot of talent, but if you don't have a game plan, it doesn't go anywhere. It's kind of saying the Warriors drafted this kid, number 7, auspicious Curry was drafted number 7. And he's 6'8" and about 240 pounds, and he's 18 years old. And it's going to take more than just wishful thinking. But in 3 years, that guy could be the best player in the league. There's that much potential. Now, there's a difference between potential and actualization. So I don't know whether, we just don't know. But sometimes you look at somebody and say, this guy's got something. I saw Curry and I said, this guy's got something. Too bad he's got a team. Nobody will ever know who he is. He's playing for the Warriors. And he turned that around pretty much by himself. Okay? But, he had a plan in terms of his own growth. And he was so good, he pulled everything, even the ownership of the room. And so, your mind, and there's a difference between mind and mental. If you're too mental, you tie yourself up in knots. Okay? Your mind is a force. So all I did today was try to give you some pointers, a game plan for how your mind attacks the situation here, which is technique, working with a partner, and how your body then moves much more efficiently, because your mind and your body are a unit. And the other thing that happens is that, something the Tao Sensei calls the eye starts to become more transparent, doesn't get in the way. Mind is not usually a problem. Its eye is the noisy mind. It tells us, put your weight up here, or gets confused and panics. And so, if you're in good practice, it's just going to keep your weight, not your physical weight, here. It's good to have emotions, but to be emotional, we tie ourselves up in knots. Okay. And so being calmer, attacking a situation, we don't attack people, but you attack a situation in a way that you create a flow. In the Aikido techniques, you're really working the principle of the nozzle and the hose. Okay? that is symbolic of the fact that there's an intention to come at you. That intention is energy extending forward towards you. Okay? Now, if you deal with the weight of the attack, it's an extremely inefficient system. I mean, if you're the Incredible Hulk, that's fine. But we're not that strong. So as we hone the mind, it sharpens. Become a better problem solver. I won't say the word attack a problem, but just how do I make this? It's like Bill Belichick. We got to win, or you guys are a bunch of losers. No, we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We do all those things, we're going to win. And conversely, if they didn't do them, that's where we fell short. You see what I mean? And so within that, the Aikido is a program to help our mind, our body, kind of something a bit more amorphous, our spirit. As the mind gets clearer, the body moves more efficiently, and our being is infused with something which is much greater than the mind and the body. You can call that ki, or since they call it kami, there's a lot of words for it. Okay? You should kind of know it when you see it. And conversely, when you are in that flow, you also know it. If you have a discriminative stance. And it's so easy to fall and put our weight in our shoulders or attention out there. So, just the ability to work on that, and also to see the problem. And problem solving can be fun, especially if you solve it. It's fun. All the techniques, in fact, Robert Fraser said, all the Aikido techniques are like koans and zen. Because we're working not the physical, we're working the intention. Because I must intend to extend towards you. Okay, that's where Aikido is. If you start working the weight of the technique, it's not Aikido anymore. Jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu's fine. But the Aikido is a step or two past that. Not that, it's a superior fighting art or anything like that. But I think in terms of development, you develop to another level. That, people that sweat and just torque each other and choke each other out, they don't do that. Anyway. Hey, thank you very much. Okay, let's see. We do need to take care of the mats and everything. I appreciate it if you do that. Thank you. And I'll take care of all the cleaning and closing up. Okay. Yeah. That's all right. Work out with it. Oops.